It's been a while since I've posted, so I thought I would check in. How about you? How are you doing? Have you checked in with anyone lately? I know it's a good idea for me to call a friend at least every couple of days. I have to check in with myself too, just to make sure I'm present and haven't gone off somewhere in my head. I do allow myself to spend time in meditation and prayer, or sometimes in thoughts of my favorite places, like sitting at the water's edge, or looking up at a snow capped mountain, or just anywhere I can see the beautiful faces of my grandchildren. I don't know about you, but this stay at home, shelter in place, hide your face behind a mask way of life has me on high alert. Listening to the total of new cases of COVID 19 and the total of deaths brought about by the same intruder haunts me in my dreams. I have friends who have lost family members and others I know who have tested positive. I remember when my county had the first presumed positive case and later proved he indeed was positive. I was beside myself, thinking about all of my loved ones who were working at essential jobs, and every person they encountered was an imminent threat. I began isolating just a couple of days after I saw this virus erupting. Being isolated when it isn't my choice brings up old feelings of being trapped and unable to get away if I need to. It triggers my PTSD, and that makes me want to run even more. Another thing that triggers me is the phrase new normal. The first time I heard it, I felt a very old and too familiar fear. I faced some pretty tough times in my life, and it seemed like with each traumatic experience, I would fear that that was my new normal. Needless to say, I was freaked out when I heard a few weeks ago that wearing a mask and being afraid every time I walk out of my apartment is the new normal. I worked for so many years discovering and creating my personal new normal, as have so many of us suffering from PTSD, and now this stranger we can't see except under a microscope is going to dictate our new normal? I was frozen for a few days, maybe several days. I really can't even recall how many days went by before I was able to stop myself from listening to every word, watching every scene, sitting glued to the TV during every press conference until I finally realized I was holding my breath. I can't lie, when I saw my reactions to what was going on around me, that scared me too. Reacting is hardly ever good for me. Action, however, can be very healing. It would have been so easy to crawl into the corner of my room or get under the covers in a fetal position and just let my fears take over. But something inside me, the core of my being, the survivor in me, wouldn't let that happen. I had to bring myself back to the things I knew, the things that I learned while working through the trauma from my past. I remembered I have a stockpile of helps that soothe and comfort me when I'm in a crisis situation and feel like every bad thing is happening again, and when the PTSD seemingly takes a hold of me and I can't shake it. These helps have proven to help me through many scary, out of control, crazy making, am I going to die days. I reach out to my peeps who are going through some of the same struggles. I tell them what I'm feeling, I listen to what they're doing for themselves, and hopefully we can help each other through another day. Of course, we talk about the obvious, and most of our conversation also include how grateful we are for everything we have, to the most basic amenity, including the running water we need to wash our hands. My phone calls in the beginning of this crisis were all about how scared I was. how concerned and frightened I was for everyone I know and love who have to be out there with this monster lurking around every corner. Then, when I remembered to do the things I know, I could come back to some semblance of calm. I have been able to get into little projects that seem like fun, and I do them until they aren't fun anymore and try something different. And you know what? That's just okay. I can go back to them or not. I don't put too many have-tos on myself because taking care of my physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health is a job, and one which is of utmost importance. I watch old funny shows on TV because they're so familiar and predictable. And that feels good right now. I like sitting here feeling like I'm connecting with you. Even though we aren't together, you are on my mind. And when you comment on something that has touched you, it lets me know I'm doing okay. I listen to music, I sing, I sit in my recliner and just breathe. I take my puppy for a walk, I write. I feed myself positive thoughts when I'm able. And then sometimes I just cry. I cry for my sisters. I cry for you and your loved ones and me and mine and all of us collectively. Yes, crying is definitely in my stockpile of helps because crying gives me a release for all of those emotions I'm feeling. Oh yeah, and once in a while, I have a couple of those fun-sized Twix bars. I do stay aware of any new suggestions or safety guidelines because my job is to protect me and anyone else in my care. I watch in bits and pieces now and read articles or listen to blogs just to keep current. And while every day the numbers are rising for now, and there are more things to worry about, and while parts of the country are opening up again, and perhaps we are facing another new normal, I hope you are in a safe place with safe people. I hope you reach out to others who can offer support and care. I hope you remember or discover things that you have stockpiled that comfort you and allow yourself to use them. I hope you find this channel a place of calm. Stay safe and love yourself. Till next time.